Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all you little maniacs across the planet Earth, once again it is time for Robcast number 36, giving you your fix. Coming at you live, uncut, and unrated from Spreaker Podcast and Robcast Radio. So here's Zombie, and here it goes.
Right. Right, ladies and gentlemen, now, boys and girls, as you know, it is your world, and I am just a squirrel. So what's going on in y'all's world today, guys? I blessed to have woken up again today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Robcast number 36. I'm Zombie, and we are going to rock this shit out right now. Are y'all ready? As you all know, we definitely always like to start off the Robcast. I like to start off your show by saying thank you. A little thank you, the least we can do at the beginning of our show, of your show. It's to say thank you to the Army, to the Navy, to the Air Force, and to the Marines for doing what you bad motherfuckers do to keep our country free. We also like to say thank you to the police officers, to the firefighters, and to the EMTs, all you first responders. Hey, back the badge, guys, because whenever we all run away from danger, it's a natural instinct. Danger, run away. Yeah, these guys are trained to run straight into it, and for that, we give you all respect. Thank all of you for your service, past, present, and future. Woo! So rock and roll today, guys. It's Sunday the 19th. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. We're sitting out here listening to the birds sing and watching the little squirrels run around in the trees. So now we thought we would sit down here with you crazy sons of bitches. This is the thing. Let's sit here and watch. Let's look at how, I like how involved people are in sports. It amazes me. I don't know if it's like, is it a familiarity club? Is it because you want to have something to talk about? Is it belonging to a team? I mean, I can understand that, but what I've got, my note to myself is Major League Sports, how do they benefit our America? Billions of dollars, right? Right, billions of dollars. And where does all of that money come from? Well, the money comes from the consumers, right? Well, where does all that money go? That's the question that I would like you to ask yourself. And we'll have to go back a little bit, go back in time, and say to ourselves, why are such things, such sports like professional baseball, professional football, why were they invented? Why are they here? And how did they turn into be such big business that they are nowadays? To the fact that now, like, let's say mixed martial arts, the UFC, as far as sponsorship goes, it's all Reebok now. So how do you all feel about that? And let's just go back and say, hey, where actually did professional football come from? Where did professional football come from? We'll think about that for a second. We'll talk about it right after a station identification. Really, really appreciate all of you little maniacs for tuning in. And we'll talk about where did these sports come from? Do they benefit our society? And quickly, different ways to listen to the show, to follow the show. I'm not going to bore you guys with all that crap. Look, Spreaker Podcast, download the app. And go to where it says info created by, click on my name. Bam, that's all you got to do. The best podcasting network on the planet Earth, Spreaker Podcast. Download the app. You will not regret it. There's definitely a lot of really, 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 really good programming here. All right, guys, back to the show. You know, Edge. let's just say we've got to go back and say pro football. Pro football. You got a bunch of young men out there on the field trying to get the ball from one end to the other, and it came about, I'm saying, shortly after the Civil War in the late 1800s. You've got a bunch of say, young men, and it's a way for them to get their aggressions out, you know what I'm saying? And also, war and stuff like that. People are coming back home and they need something to boost the morality of the country around them. I think that's more about baseball, as far as baseball goes, in the great wars of the turn of the century. However, for football, was a little bit before that, and this is just my opinion, guys. You look this shit up for yourself. You tell me what you think, because this is just something that, it makes me think. It makes me go back. It makes me say, why did these things happen? How do they progress into the juggernaut of pro sports today? So we've got football, and young men are able to get out there, and there's different strategies to win the game that are similar to different strategies in chess and war and all of that kind of stuff. And I think that it, from being a game and a pastime, something that just people could go and watch and enjoy, to becoming a way that, let's see how we can drain all of these people's pockets and have them coming back wanting more. Because I can tell you that just my experience from being around Houston, because the Super Bowl was here recently, I really, really feel like it was way more about getting the money, just getting the money from the people that are coming here, rather than representing our community in a positive manner that would want them to come back again. And that's just my opinion, you know what I mean? And I think that that's kind of, William Randolph Hearst said it best when he said we've got to figure out a way to give the people $1 and in the same time take $2 back from them, something like that. I'm not completely up to par on my famous quotes of the Hearsts. However, I can tell you some things. We can get into that another day, because I thought I've got some other lists. We're gonna make this. I'm gonna put notes because I don't want to mix the two, And then I can remember. I can't remember because I wasn't born yet. But if you look back to let's say when Broadway Joe was signed to the New York Jets, I'm pretty sure that he was like jaw-dropping contract that he got, and I'm pretty sure that it was less than $1 million. I think it was only about $400,000 when he signed for the Jets. I'm not 100% sure, but it wasn't. By today's standards, it would have been a drop in the bucket. And I'd like to see how inflation works. Like, what's that $450,000 back in the 60s as opposed to, or whenever, when was Broadway Joe signed? Was it, I'm not sure. I know that he played, during the 60s, the mid to late 60s. But I don't think he played for as long as I thought he did. He didn't have a super long NFL career. I'm not sure. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is, for inflation versus now, and okay, Major League sports, all of them, basketball, football, baseball, in America, are they beneficial to the communities around them, or are they sending a wrong message? Because I have seen, another one of my notes here, something that really, really gets underneath my skin. If someone's making millions of dollars, if someone is out there doing whatever job it is on this planet that someone is telling them, look, you're going to get paid millions of dollars to do your job. However, you can't form a complete sentence. I don't agree with that. It gets under my skin, fellas. And you're probably saying, well, Your southern ass can't form a complete sentence. And to that I say, fuck you very much. I'm just kidding. I say, lick my balls, sucker. So what does that tell, I know that finally, and the Generation X generation is whenever they did no pass, no play. Hey, before that, it didn't matter whether you were failing or not. It was at the coach and the teacher's discretion whether or not you could even go. You could play football or not, even if you were failing in your classes or any other sports. I think that it started out with good intentions because it encourages teamwork, right? It encourages being healthy, putting the right things into your body. It encourages exercise. It encourages learning things, plays and strategies and stuff like that. So I'm not saying that some of these fellas may not be street smart or play smart or what do you call it? The equivalent to street smart would on the football or basketball or baseball field. You know what I mean? You don't have to form a complete sentence to be able to knock the shit out of somebody at the line. You just have to be, close to 7 feet tall and weigh about 350 pounds. You learn how to move, you learn how to do the thing, and either you got it or you don't. But I mean, and we're all the way back to, is it too much, too soon, too fast for these people? Or do other people look at it like, well, they have a pretty short career life. So instead of being able to work for, 35 years, they're only able to work for 7 or 9 years to be a pro athlete. So, that has something to do with it too. But paying someone $40 million a year, does that really benefit us all as a society? Because we're all definitely given the green light to it. We're definitely going and buying the $10 hot dogs, and I mean, just whenever the Super Bowl came to Houston, it was amazing. Whenever it got closer to Super Bowl, people got rich just by selling their tickets. I'm saying hotel rooms that were $75 each were going for $750. And that's if you wanted roaches to help you with your leftovers after supper. Man, and I'll just go on about, I know like in regular business that the top, let's say your top 5%, the top 5% of your executives make 80% of the payroll. Or like in major sales, the top 5% of your salesmen make about 80% of your payroll. And that's just how it's like, you see, that's like a cutthroat structure. The strongest survive and the rest, what else? What they do is it's the carrot on the stick. If someone's a billionaire, then they came from nothing, then that gives you the hope that you can also become a billionaire from nothing. However, your definition of nothing and my definition of nothing may be a little bit different. My father left me with a mere $4 million, right? I turned it into 4,000,002.2. Oh, and I know that the only guaranteed way, guys, the guaranteed way to make a small fortune, boom, in any business, start out with a large fortune and you'll definitely make it into a small fortune, right? Don't do that again. and then you see in the Ultimate Fighting that we have, everyone used to, some of the pay that the gentleman that got paid to fight